Hello guys, it's me, Naga Krauser here, back with another video. Since a lot of you guys wanted a quick tutorial or like a wild rift guide, so I'm here and I will break down everything into digestible bites for everyone to understand. And it will take me about like half an hour to sum everything up, so I've divided the video into a part 1 and part 2 video. Part 2 video will include itemization, ruins and the landing phase. So today I'll be talking about the basic stuff that you need to know before you play League of Legends Wild Rift. So part 1 includes the lock system, the portrait lock mode, which is very new for all mobile users, the jungle buff monster in details with their spawn timers, turret, the turret plating and also the minions, including their passive and the last hit goal and why is it important to last hit. And also I'll be going over the dragon, the 4 elemental dragons and the elder dragon, Baron and Rift Herald. And lastly, I'll be covering the Blastcon, Honeyfruit and Skyer's Bloom. I'm pretty sure most of you are not familiar with this. If you've played League of Legends, you know what it is, but for most of the mobile users that will be venturing into Wild Rift, I'll be covering it up for you guys, so don't worry. So without further delay, cue the intro and let's move on. Here you will learn how to use the attack button to lock onto a target. You can drag the attack button to manually lock onto a target. While locked onto a target, your following attacks and abilities will automatically prioritize it. Unlocking from a target. Drag the attack button to the cancel button, or you can tap on the minion or turret button to force a target swap. So this is the portrait lock feature. I'm pretty sure all of the mobile users are familiar with the portrait lock feature, but for PC users this will be very new. So here you'll learn to use the portrait lock feature to lock onto enemy champions. And as you can see here, there's Garen and Lux. So tap on the enemy champion portraits to lock onto that champion. Tapping the basic attack button will now cause you to attack the locked target. So now we will be talking about the turrets and the turret plating in League of Legends Wild Rift. Same as all mobile games, it's really hard for an individual to take down a turret when there is no minions. So make sure you don't do that. Let the minions take damage for you and then you can just go and smash the tower. When you go near a turret, you will see one of the 3 colored circles on the ground. The colors indicate how the turret will behave. Green, the turret is attacking other units you wouldn't be attacked if you enter its range. Yellow, the turret is not attacking any units you will be attacked if you enter its range. And red, it basically means you're currently being attacked by the turret right now. Keep in mind guys, it is really important to take down the first turret. Because if you take down the first turret, your entire team will be getting an additional bonus of 800 gold, which is pretty awesome. If you guys notice, there are 3 health bars in a turret, so each one of them is called a turret plate. So there are 3 turret plates in every tower. They also grant gold to nearby players who break the plate. And here's how turret plating gold works. From the first tower, for 1 plate you'll be getting 100 gold. From the second tower, for every plate you'll be getting 125 gold. So for the third tower, from every turret plate you'll be getting 150 gold. So there is a lot of gold funneling into your champion, with which you can buy items and just smash on the rift. So next up, we'll be talking about the minions. Minions are AI control units that have 2 ways of interacting with the map. Minions are programmed to walk in straight line down a lane until they encounter an enemy to attack, and they all deal physical damage only. There are 3 types of minion. They're known as melee, casters, siege minions. And if you are able to destroy the inner turret, super minions will be spawned from the base. And here is the reason why it is very important to last hit minion in League of Legends Wild Rift. As you can see from this picture, the difference between the miss and the hit goal for melee minion, caster minion and siege minion. So for every last hit you're able to get, you'll be getting 65 gold for a melee minion. For a caster minion, you'll be getting 40 gold, and for a siege minion, you'll be getting 85 gold. And the passive gold that you'll be getting if you don't hit a minion is very less. So it is very important to last hit gold. And for experience, even if they die near you, even if you don't last hit, you will be getting the experience, but you won't be getting the gold. So even if you are 0-2 or 0-3, if you have not missed any minion And if you're able to last hit, then you'll be pretty much ahead with your laner as well. And like I said, I'll be covering the laning phase in the next video, so I won't be going so much details into the minions right now and explain it to you guys better in the next video. So next up, we're gonna be talking about the jungle and the jungle monster and the buffs included. So the jungle is the part of the Summoner's Rift that is not occupied by lands or team bases, including the river that divides it. Junglers rely on killing neutral monsters in the jungle to keep up with their laning teammates in terms of gold and experience. So here you will learn about the monsters in Wild Rift and the jungling techniques needed to defeat them. And make sure to take the summoner spell Smite if you're gonna go into the jungle, because that is the only efficient way that you'll be using your Smite, by taking it into the jungle and by killing monsters. There are no jungle items in League of Legends Wild Rift as of now, so how do you upgrade your Smite? You need to defeat 4 camps of monsters to level up your Smite. Smite can be casted on an enemy champion after upgrading it. So there are 2 different kinds of Smite that you can upgrade it to, the Red Smite and the Blue Smite. Upgrading to the Red Smite allows you to deal increased damage to the enemy champions, whereas the Blue Smite allows you to inflict a slow effect on an enemy champion. So depending on the jungler that you're using or how you want to use them, upgrade your Smite depending on the scenario. After you get into the game, there will be a 10 seconds delay where the rift will be locked. After the rift opens up, the jungle monsters will spawn at 0.20 seconds going into the game. So the first buff that we'll be talking about will be the Blue Sentinel. The Blue Sentinel is commonly called the blue buff. After defeating the Sentinel, the champion will gain a temporary buff that adds mana and health regeneration. In League of Legends PC, from the blue buff, we were getting cooldown reduction, but for League of Legends Wild Rift, you wouldn't be getting cooldown reduction if you slain a blue buff. So the next buff will be the Red Brambleback. The Red Brambleback is commonly called the red buff. After defeating the Brambleback, champions will gain a temporary buff that adds true damage and a slow effect on attacks. And keep in mind guys, if you die, this buff will be transferred to the killing champion. And after the red and blue buff are slain, it will take them 150 seconds, that is 2 minutes and 30 seconds for them to respawn. For the regular jungle monster camps, they will respawn in 90 seconds, which is 1 minute and 30 seconds. So next up, we'll be talking about the River Scuttle, which is one of the most important monsters in the entire Rift. The River Scuttle will spawn at 1 minute 27 seconds into the game. So introduction to the Rift Scuttle. Rift Scuttle will spawn after the game begins, 1 in each half of the river, and also they will respawn shortly after being defeated as well. So why is it important to secure Rift Scuttle? So after a Rift Scuttle is defeated, it will spawn a speed shrine in the river. This shrine grants an effect of movement speed buff and vision to the allies. And the reason why I say this is one of the most important objectives in the game is because after it dies, it acts like a ward in the Dragon Pit or the Baron Pit, this allowing ganks from the mid laner or the jungler. So next up, we'll be talking about the most important objective in the game, and that is the dragons. The first dragon will spawn at 4 minutes into the game. So there are 4 elemental drags in League of Legends Wild Rift, called as the Infernal Drag, the Cloud Drag, the Mountain Drag, and the Ocean Drag, commonly known as Earth, Fire, Wind, Water. So defeating an elemental drag grants your team a permanent buff that lasts until the end of the match. And as you can see from this picture, why it is really important to secure dragon, because they give you different kinds of additional bonus. For example, Ocean Dragon gives you 8 physical vamp and magical vamp. Infernal Dragon grants you 8% increased damage. Mountain Dragon, they grant you 6% of maximum health as a shield after 5 seconds of not taking damage. Cloud Dragon, it will grant you 7.5% bonus speed movement, and it will double the 15% when you're out of combat. After a drag is defeated, drag of the same element will not spawn again. The marking on the Dragon Pit will show you what type of drag will spawn next. The final elemental drag spawn will be the Elder Dragon. It will spawn towards the late game after 3 elemental dragons are slain, and defeat the Elder Dragon to gain a powerful buff for the entire team. And only 1 Elder Dragon spawns each game. After you slay the Elder buff, you will be getting an additional Elder bonus buff, so your auto attacks will burn enemies, dealing true damage. So next up, we'll be talking about the Rift Herald and Baron Nashor in Wild Rift. The Rift Herald and Baron Nashor are used to speed up the game, and when using the Rift Herald, players can destroy enemy towers early in the game. Baron Nashor buff allows players to push into the enemy base and destroy the enemy nexus with powered up land minion. Rift Herald will spawn at 6 minutes into the game and can be slain only once, and Baron Nashor will spawn at 10 minutes into the game. Baron Nashor is commonly called Baron. He will spawn after 10 minutes into the game. Baron Nashor has high attack and defense, so you'll need a team to defeat him. Defeating the Baron will grant the Hand of Baron buff to your entire team. This buff enhances nearby allied minion, reduces recall channel time, and increases your damage. If you die, the Baron buff will wear off. So make sure you utilize the buff well and take objectives such as turrets and just own the Rift, because this is one of the most important buffs in the entire game. The Rift Herald is a powerful neutral monster that can be found in the Summoner's Rift in the same pit as Baron Nashor. She uses basic attack and abilities to fight her foes. So whoever slays the Rift Herald will have empowered recall, meaning it'll take lesser time for you to recall back to base, and the ability to summon Rift Herald to push a lane. And as you can see here, you can spawn the Rift Herald wherever you want, whether it be top lane, mid lane, or bot lane. And using it wisely would change the entire course of the game. As I mentioned earlier in the video, you have turret plating gold. So funneling that gold into the right champion can change the entire course of the game. And here is how Rift Herald works. After you summon the Rift Herald winds up and charges forward, knocking aside enemies that she passed through and dealing true damage to the tower. So this is a really good way to secure first tower, or push the wave entirely, or take down one lane entirely, as I've done in this video. So next up, we will be talking about the jungle plants in League of Legends Wild Rift. Jungle plants, or living jungles, are in-game elements that spawn in the jungle and river, which have a variety of effects when destroyed. So here's how they work. Blast Cone. Blast Cone knocks away all nearby units in a radius, including the attacker. This can send units over terrain as well. As you can see from this video, you can direct where you want your units to get knocked away or to cross over a terrain. So this is really helpful in running away from an attacker or invading a jungle and running away. Next up is the honey fruit. So after you attack the honey fruit, it will drop 3 fruits on the ground for 20 seconds. Walking over a fruit will give you mana and health as well. Plus, if you have the Sweet Tooth Ruin, then it will increase honey fruit healing by 25%, and each fruit will also give you 20 gold. Next up is the Scryer's Bloom, and personally for me, this is one of the most important jungle plants in the entire League of Legends Wild Rift, and here is the reason why. Scryer's Bloom, it releases pollen in a large cone that fills in the direction the attacker was facing, revealing enemy champions and non-champions for a few period of time. And also it reveals ward as well. So with that, we have come to an end of this video for League of Legends Wild Rift Basic Guide Part 1. I hope I was able to break it down into digestible bites for everyone to understand, and if you guys want more, do subscribe because Part 2 will be coming soon. And also, if you guys felt like you guys didn't understand some part of the video, or some part of the video didn't make sense, don't hesitate to comment because I will be there to help you guys out. And also, I've linked our Discord community and League of Legends Facebook group as well in the description down below, so you guys can reach out to us any time of the day if you're in the community. And also, there are so many veteran LoL players that has been helping each and every one of them in the community, so you guys can join and be a part of it. And don't forget to join the community because that is where we're having all the discussion regarding League of Legends Wild Rift, so don't miss out. So thank you so much for watching this video and tuning in, and I will be coming up with part 2 later on, so do hit the subscribe button and I'll see you guys next time.